A shocking act of violence unfolded just blocks from the White House on Wednesday afternoon when two West Virginia National Guard members were critically wounded in what officials are calling a targeted shooting. Authorities have identified the suspected gunman as 29-year-old Rahmanullah Lakanwal, an Afghan national who arrived in the U.S. in 2021 during the chaotic military withdrawal from Afghanistan. According to law enforcement sources cited by multiple outlets, Lakanwal reportedly waited near the Farragut West metro station before rounding a corner around 2:15 p.m. and opening fire. He first shot a female guard member in the chest and then in the head, before turning his weapon on a second guard member. A nearby third guard member rushed toward the gunfire and managed to subdue Lakanwal, who was later taken to a hospital in critical condition after being shot multiple times. The two victims, both armed and on patrol at the time of the attack, remain in critical condition at a local hospital. Initial reports claiming they had died were retracted after officials cited conflicting information. Lakanwal is believed to have entered the U.S. under Operation Allies Welcome, the program that resettled Afghan allies following the Taliban takeover. He had been living in Washington state prior to the attack. Federal officials say he acted alone, and the FBI is investigating the shooting as a possible act of terrorism, though no motive has been released. The attack sparked swift reactions from national leaders. Washington Mayor Muriel Bowser called it a targeted shooting, while FBI Director Kash Patel confirmed the case will be prosecuted at the federal level, describing it as an assault on federal law enforcement officers.
Washington, D.C., where two of our brave members of the National Guard and the Department of War were brazenly attacked in a horrendous act of violence. They were shot. They're in critical condition.
Secretary of War Pete Hegseth announced the deployment of an additional 500 troops to Washington. President Donald Trump, who was in Florida at the time, condemned the attacker in forceful terms, warning that the animal responsible would pay a very steep price.
The hearts of all Americans tonight are with those two members of the West Virginia National Guard and their families. The love of our entire country is pouring out for them, and we are lifting them up in our prayers. As we are filled with anguish and grief for those who were shot, we're also filled with righteous anger and ferocious resolve. As President of the United States, I am determined to ensure that the animal who perpetrated this atrocity pays the steepest possible price.
Trump had previously deployed more than 2,000 National Guard troops to Washington as part of an effort to address rising crime, a move that has sparked political debate. Roughly 2,400 National Guard members are currently stationed in the nation's capital with personnel from multiple states. Their deployment has been extended through summer 2026 as federal and local officials continue balancing security concerns with community tensions.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.